You better step back and look at yourself, baby. Get a little closer.
What's going on, guys? It's Fear Turbo here. Today we're going to take a look at my Magicka NightBlade build. PvE for the Morrowind patch. This is going to be a support build for your team, along with very good AoE and execute damage. Let's get right into it. We're going to have 5-piece Master Architect. Now this is going to give us Minor Slayer, Major Slayer, and Major Slayer to our team. And that's the whole thought process behind the build. We have Soul Harvest. We're going to continuously pump out Soul Harvest and have a high uptime on Major Slayer. As well with being ranged, you know, having a shield and having Lambrus for AoE damage, and heavy shock attack for sustain. If there's any sustain changes from the rest of the PTS to launch, I will update the build accordingly. In the description, there will be a link to fearturbo.com. Another note is there will be no CP placed in this video because currently CP is not working correctly. Once it's fixed, the CP will be on the site. So we got Lambrus for AoE damage, we got Master Architect for our support and our Minor Slayer. And then we're running 3 willpower here, which is going to give us a ton of max Magicka spell damage, which is what the NightBlade is all about. We're going to run spell damage on everything, so our sustain is going to be a little iffy. We're going to have to do heavy attacks, but that's going to proc our Lambrus. We're going to have to rely on our team to throw us synergies like shards and orbs, which is going to give us regen, because they nerf siphoning attacks, and it's honestly not worth using unless you know you're going to do like a couple heavies in a row. That way you get some juice back from actually using the skill. We're going to have front bar lightning staff, just any kind of lightning staff that's sharpened and has the spell damage enchant on it, which is going to give us a high uptime on that actual enchant. It's going to be pretty close to 50%. And back bar flame staff sharpened VMA give us those extra light attack damage and heavy attack damage. Let's get into the skills. Now you may be wondering, what the hell, shock clench really? Well, this is here to just basically provide an initial dot, AoE, and proc our Lambrus. Now we're only going to use this, if you notice it costs a lot, we're only going to use this if we have Magicka. So basically when I know I can do my weaves, I've got 80% Magicka, I can use this instead of heavy shock channeling to proc Lambrus. So this is what I'm going to use to proc Lambrus. Crippling Grasp is a great dot, single target. Merciless is going to give us a high uptime on Minor Berserk, along with a bow skill that's going to hit really hard. The bow skill we're going to want to use after every end cap. You can pretty much, after every Soul Harvest, you can pretty much get Soul Harvest up every second Merciless. So it's pretty cool. And also this skill's kind of like a pre-execute Impel. It hits really hard. I mean, it hits hard all the way from 100 to 0, but it's hitting just as hard as Impel would be in execute phase all the time. So this is a really good skill. Funnel health, because this is going to be our weave. Force Pulse is extremely expensive. Too expensive to spam. So we're going to go back to funnel health, even though they increased the cost of this last patch. If they, you know, with all the sustain changes, probably wasn't a good foresight to do that. But anyway, we're going to use this when we have Magicka. If not, we're going to heavy channel lightning, because that's all we can do at this point. We're going to have Inner Light for the extra max Magicka, Soul Harvest for the crit, extra crit, and this is going to be our spammable ult. So we give everyone Major Slayer. Back bar, we're going to have Fire, Blockade of Fire, because 1, we're Dark Elf, 2, DKs give extra 10% fire, and 3, because this skill does 20% more damage if the enemy is burning. So this is a good bit of damage here. Twisting Path. You can take Refreshing if your team needs a little bit more healing, but damage-wise, you're going to take Twisting. Siphoning attacks. I'm only going to use this when I know I need Magicka. I'm going to cast it, and then I'm going to do lots of heavies. So I'm going to get Magicka back from heavies, Magicka back from this skill, and so forth. impel on our back bar because we want it on our fire for single target. I know we don't have inner light on our back bar, but we still get the max magicka from the siphoning passive. Also, we need a shield. Any trial, you need a shield. If you don't have a shield, you're in the 1%, or actually you're in the 0.5%, or maybe 0.1% group that just burns everything down. But that meta's over. This patch, it's much different. You're gonna need a shield. Fiery Rage, obviously the best AoE damage skill in the game. Whether or not you use this will be up to the strategies that your team comes up with. If you don't tend to use this much, you could actually double bar Soul Harvest or put Shooting Star here. So the rotation is pretty simple, and we're going to be using max magicka and max health food. So our regen is like nothing. But the rotation is pretty simple. You just light attack between everything, and then heavy channel when you need some juice. Obviously, my regen is going to be pretty shit right here in this showing. That's because you need heavy channel lightning and you need shards. I won't have shards in this video, and for some reason the templates don't have alchemy leveled, so my uptime on my pot obviously is going to hurt my resource. Anyway, so basically we're just going to buff up, do a heavy into our 2 dots. Catching some lag, okay. Got Major Slayer. Okay, I'm not channeling heavy, I must be lagging. Yeah, 300 ping. Anyway, so basically, I'll just go over it slowly then. You're just gonna buff up, go to heavy, do your dots right here. When you need magicka, you're just gonna heavy. Incap Major Slayer, bow skill, and so forth. It's going to be providing your group with Major Slayer, which is very important. Sorry about that lag. The PTS is just, it spikes sometimes. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this build. It's going to be basically a support build. If they change any sustain changes, like maybe they revert the siphoning attacks change, or they add more something unique, or anything for sustain, I will update the build at fearturbo.com, and you can go there for all the information. So guys, if you like this, if you have any questions, or maybe I left something out, or some unique bar setups that you might think, because there's a ton with the NightBlade. You need a siphoning ability on each bar. You need a Destro ability on each bar. You need an assassination ability on each bar. It's just like, ugh, kill me. But NightBlades is very unique, and they're like hard to master, but they're very rewarding if you can play them correctly. Yes, I know the damage isn't as big as everyone else's, but the sustain doesn't help either. But this build is going to help your group immensely with the Major Slayer. And the uptime is like 45%. It's incredible. So, guys, I hope everyone has a good day. Make sure you check out the site if you want any updates, if they change anything on the PTS. We're about 5-6 weeks out, so make sure you check it out. Everyone have a good day. I'll see you in the next video.
You wanna live just like kings and queens.